Well, you know, I didn't even know that it's so grand. And I told my son, I didn't know Chinese can speak so well. Can sing so well. He said, Dad, they are Filipinos. So, just to let you know who we are, I'm Mickey Yong. I stayed here 25 years. As you know, my wife is Marites Yong. These are my kids, Marcel, Marlon, and his wife, Claire. So we are a Filipino-Singapore family. You know, I did this, I formed a foundation for my wife, who's, like all of you, she's, like, by the way, we are all human beings, not Martians. Very much like you, she's a Filipino, a very nice woman. I hope not only because she's my wife, but she's really a nice person. She's a very nationalistic Filipino, as I'm sure all of you are. Imagine, you know, we are married for nearly 40 years before she passed. In the beginning, I wanted her to say, you better get a Singapore passport and become a citizen. It's very easy to get. There was way 40 years back. She refused. So I said, okay, I cannot force you. Then 35 years later, she finally gave in because she missed so many travel trips with me waiting for visas. Sorry, but that is the truth. Well, you know, after she passed, I think the least I can do is to form a foundation because charity has always been in her heart. She's always wanted to, you know, give the Filipino people. She's very aware of the prevalent poverty in this country. She likes to raise the lives, whatever little bit she can do. And in the early days, you know, I'm executive. In fact, at one stage, I was bankrupt, more or less. So I didn't have much money to give her. But when I started getting a bit more well-to-do, I used to give her money for shopping. I thought she'd hit for the Gucci store. But then finally, without telling me, I found that a lot of her money went to a place called, what's this, in North Camarines, what's the place? Amarisok. Mysok in North Camarines, right? Camarines del Norte, something like that. She was quietly supporting a community there for their livelihood because a certain lady convinced her and she was giving monthly, and sometimes when I give her a lump sum, she was giving it. Well, you know, I don't want to say too much of her, otherwise all of you can't go home. You know, she was such a wonderful person. I think my sons and I agree. It's a big loss to me, a very sudden loss. And in my life, I've taken a lot of blows, you know, but this is one blow I'm still recovering from after 2 years. So I thought I'd start this foundation, and the first project we did was 86 houses in Silai. When she always wanted to give houses for those who can't afford it. So I looked for land everywhere, and my good friend Ang of St. Miguel actually offered me 3 pieces of land until I found out that it takes more than 3 years to get a conversion for the land before I can build and give it to the poor. You know, so you know, I'm sorry, but I think maybe all of you will agree with me. The government needs housing, and yet they make it difficult for people to build for them. Why would it take 3 years if the land is just there, you know? Should give it to people who are prepared to build and give it to the poor. So I finally found a nice partner, Habitat International, a very big charity, goes around. Well, they are supposed to be non-profit, but I'm sure they make a little bit here and there. They go around helping countries of the poor. So they had a piece of land. So I built 86 houses, and they were handed over last September. They were handed over September, and I think they're slowly moving in. The 86 families, you know, are pretty happy with that, and I said to keep it very clean. It should be a model for Filipino living. You don't have to live in a mansion, but you certainly can live in a very clean village, which is very important. At least the person deserves a healthy, clean life. So that's the story. My wife is, as like you, an ordinary Filipino. She became a housewife after we got married. She was with me for 40 years, through thick and thin, and I think she's a good example of a Filipino person, very soft, good-hearted. She's like I said, we all be here the whole night, but she's really a very positive, much more than me. I'm a businessman. I've got to worry about the negative, and everyone takes to her, when she walks into. I had very, very snobbish bosses, big rich people are all very snobbish, so but she impressed all of them with a casual charisma and non-assuming, non-manyabang, not like me. Those who work under me will know that I'm not manyabang, but I'm tough. So I thank you, press people, for coming here today. I hope. I don't know about entertainment business. I depend on Mr. Buena. If she tell me to jump, I say how high. That's all I know. So she has convinced me that this is a good event for me to have the first fundraiser. Of course, I raised the money, and some of my friends and my former business associates here have been quite generous, especially one from San Miguel, and I have to pay a special thanks to him. So I think we'll make it a big success, because I told Mr. Buena, don't cut corners, do the best you can. It's also good for them. The cast make a good name for them. You can be famous. If Lia Salonga can make it, maybe we can find a new Lia Salonga somewhere. So thank you, people. I hope you'll help us to make this event, that maybe all of Manila can be talking about it in time to come. And I wish the best of luck to Douglas, to Joel, and the whole cast and the team of Binondo, and hope it'll make a big success. I'm sure it will be, because I'm the main ticket seller. Anybody don't buy, I'll kill them. It's very simple. Okay, so thank you again for coming. And I hope you all have a good lunch. If you're going there to eat, enjoy the food, and bring to Mr. Razon. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Sheila.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Juan.
Good afternoon. My name is Douglas Nieves. I am the choreographer, and Juan is
The composer and music director of BINONDO.
He will give you an insight of what we went through. Fortunately, in the 3 decades that involves the story behind Binondo, I was alive and kicking in those 3 decades. It became a journey of rediscovery for me. It became a rediscovery of my lineage. I happen to have grandparents that are Chinese. And a rediscovery of what was the feel, the dynamics, and the texture of the era. The 70s to the 80s to the 90s, which was the time that I was actively involved in social functions, etc. I was very inspired with the music of what?
Well, the music of Binondo, as the term Chinoy suggests, it's twofold. It's Filipino music and Chinese music, but there's much emphasis on Filipino music. The likes of OPM, Willie Cruz type of songs, very pop, heavy pop, more dramatic pop. It is highly orchestral. We have an indigenous Chinese instrument also called the erhu, the Chinese violin, that provides transition music all throughout. The basis of the music, actually the inspiration of the music, is not another musical form, but actually a picture of the Met production of Turandot, Puccini's Turandot. I think the production of Franco Zeffirelli. Yeah, Zeffirelli. So I asked myself, can I translate this image into music, for musical theater, and make it very Filipino, and still capture the grandness of it? So that was my challenge for it.
And in my case, the challenge was very obvious. I had been in theater from the time I was in college, and I went through theater education both here and in New York and in Los Angeles. And what I wanted to do was pick up from the very mellow movements of Filipino musicals and bring it up to the global dynamic of very energetic and very forceful kind of choreography. And I was hoping, well, I was so happy that Direct Joel was also understanding of that and very accepting. So this is the product that we have that came out. This is Binondo. And for that, I would like to thank also Mr. David Ezra for gracing our press launch. And the part actually is going to be played by Arman Ferrer, and he is hurrying back from Dubai right now as we speak. But ladies and gentlemen, more important, may I please introduce our multi-awarded director, winning the Hall of Fame Award in Aliu for Best Director, as well as other international awards.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming for the announcement of the staging of our play Binondo in July. I would like to thank the producer, Mr. Yong, for sponsoring its staging. I would like to thank all the people that is with me in giving focus to producing original Filipino musical. I have been saying, I have been stating that we Filipinos should be patronizing, should be inspired to do original Filipino musicals because we have so much story to tell and to put into music. So it's not only the foreign musicals that can contribute into this kind of theater, but also Filipino musicals as well. Thank you so much everybody for the support. This time I would like to introduce all the people involved, having the same perspective as I have in developing Filipino musicals. Of course, I would like to introduce my staff. Without them, there will be no Binondo. Okay? I would like Ms. Tec Lopez to come. This was one of the producers on stage. Gina Godinez, producer, on stage. Rebecca Juansu, original story, please come on stage. Nikki is not here. Gerson Chua and LJ Del Doc, they are not here, but they are, of course, supporting our staging. Von de Guzman is here for music, Douglas Nieras for choreography, Otto Hernandez, production designer, Joey Nombres, lighting director, Maricel Santos, production manager, please come up on stage, Chris Zavala, associate production manager, Lani Tapia, our stage manager, Reynan Halos, deputy stage manager, Jason Buza, assistant stage manager, J.R. Talay Cruz, assistant stage manager, Therese Arroyo, assistant production designer, are you here? Jean Hosson, costume designer, are you here? Kim Inosancio, wardrobe mistress, Kai Garcia, sponsorship specialist, Hector Conlu, sponsorship specialist, Divine Radloff, permit coordinator, Patrick Lasanas, graphic artist, Nikki Bourbon, production assistant, Bingala, controller, Nards Alim, production runner. These are the people responsible in putting up Binondo before and putting up Binondo again for all of us in July. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like also to introduce the members of the cast of Binondo.
Arman Ferrer, who I think is still airborne, almost touching the 2 o'clock. I hope he makes it for the protocol, who's playing the role of Akyong. And special thanks again to our dear friend David Ezra, who shared his time to us this afternoon. He sang the part of Akyo. Of course, there's Noel Rayos, who's playing the role of Carlos. The supporting roles are led by Mariela Laurel as Jasmine, Jim Pebanco, Lawrence Martinez, Khalil Kaimo, Rap Subili, Eldrica Laguardia, Ima Castro, Ima, Ashley Micaela Factor, Don Dion, Kay Balahardia, Jennifer De La Cruz, Elizabeth Chua, I saw her, alright, Russell Magno, Jonelle Moica, Philip Deles, none. For the ensemble, we have Chino Uy Macaraig, Carlos Derriada Jr., Daniel Joseph Cruz, Dusty Suarez, Patrick Paul Clark, Sander Conway, Randy Ray, Renz Aviles, okay, Romsel Brinkis, Roy Iringan, Ryan Caraan, VJ Cordell, Sander Pineda, Janine Tolentino, Julia Chua, Precious Cementilla, and the team from Douglas Niers Bar Dance, Cristalisa Sawada, Dabalus, Froilan Dabalus, Divine Douglas, Ronald Policarpio, Rickmar Policarpio, Joshua Orbasido, Kathleen K. Jacob, Chesna Kimno, and finally J.R. Agovida Calompiano. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of BinondoATsinoyMusical. Grabe, no? Daming talents talaga ng Pinoy. Proud. Okay. In our press kits, to my dear members of the media, the schedule of performances will be on July 12 at 8, July 13 at 3 and 8, and July 14 at 3 p.m. We will be advising you accordingly when will the press night be. Together with my other co-partner, Mr. Mel Navarro, we will coordinate it for the press to watch this production. Now, may we now open the floor for questions. Mel will be here. And then, of course, we will call Derek, Joel, Juan, Douglas.
Hello.
Yes.
Yan na sila Direk Joel, Mr. Juan, and Mr.
And then,
Douglas.
Miss Rebecca Chua Unso. Okay, Mel.
Tools for the information of our friends, nanalo po ng 6 na Aliw Awards in 2018 ang ating musical. Best Original Musical Production, Best Stage Director for Mr. Joel Lamangan, Best Ensemble Performance, Best Actor for David Ezra, Best Composer for Original Musical Theater for Von de Guzman, and Best Actress for Carla Guevara. Ayan. Award-winning play. So, Tools, I'll start with Q&A na. So, sino po ang gustong mag-ano? You just...
Yes, Mr. Nestor Cortero.
I will roam around.
Hi, good afternoon. How does it go? The first staging of Binondo was produced by the first producer. I think Miss Rebecca was on top of the production, and now the second, the rerun is going to be produced by another producer. What is the relationship now between the first and the second producer?
Rebecca will answer that.
Mr. Mickey Yong and I are both Chinese. That's our similarity. The difference is he's very rich, I am not.
No, it's not about the difference, it's the relationship.
Okay, the story is a story of my uncle in real life. It's painful to tell his story, but as Mr. Vicky Law says, this story is aching to be told. And today is my second time to meet Mr. Mickey Yong. I'm so happy and overwhelmed that he's supporting Binondo the musical. I look forward to work with him.
So, are you in a way still a co-producer of this production?
I am a line producer, at the same time the original storyteller.
I understand that Mr. Yong is Singaporean. Are there possibilities of bringing the show to Singapore?
If I have the opportunity, I'll bring the show around the world. Singapore is a very expensive place. You know, this is stage for them. You know, I told them money aside. Of course, I try to make some money for the foundation. I mean, give charity here. But this is a stage for them. You know, to really show the skills of this cast as well as other Filipinos. The only one that I mentioned earlier, Lea Salonga, is the only one very well known in Singapore. And all her shows are sold out. In Singapore, if you don't have a sellout crowd, you're dead meat because it's expensive to stage. You know, even if I put them in hostels, we still win. But yes, you know, we'll try. If it's a big success here, I'll try and see what we can do. Like I say, around the world, there's no reason why it should be confined to any specific area. Thank you.
Mr. Young, what did you like in the production? Did you see the first production?
I tell you, I will bring you to Heritage, talk to my wife. She's more into these things than I am, unfortunately. So, but I love music. I've been listening to OPMs after she died, although I don't understand half the songs, but they do put me to sleep. They just sound very nice. I know they all love songs, so I'm trying to pull up my dictionary to translate the Tagalog words. But I'm sure from what I've seen now, and this is the first time, admittedly, I apologize. Like I said, I'm not really a very cultured. If you talk to me about numbers, I'm very cultured. But I'm very impressed. I was just telling my son, you know, these are all natural talents. The Filipino, you want to hear me sing? You all walk away. All of you will walk away, you know. But you know, the Filipino has a natural, they're so natural, you know. The voice, anybody can have the voice. It's so natural, and I prefer such things to a single or, you know, even just a concert. I think a play is much more meaningful, and plays around the world are big sellers, you know, big sellers like the Life of Frankie Valli, like Jersey Boys, things like that. You know, they do Lion King, now Phantom of the Opera. So Binondo is next. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Last point, sir. What convinced you to bankroll this project?
I can go and blackmail a few rich people here to make sure we don't lose money. No, like I said, okay, yeah, you asked a quite an appropriate question. Actually, it's for my wife. She's very into arts and what, you know, you know, at the eulogy, I said, you know, we are so different, me and my wife. When we watch a movie, I'm looking for all the action. While people are fighting, she tell me, "Han, look at the scenery behind the fighting." How different we are. So she's really, because of the arts and culture. In fact, you know, I try to bankroll, but it's very big, a school for fine arts, really fine arts in the Philippines, fine arts. We are still working on that. But like I say, it's a lot of money. I got to see who else I can blackmail. Okay.
Well, we'd like to welcome you as a new patron of the arts. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Frida.
Yeah.
Will there be any changes from the first run?
There will be some changes. Some seems to be out. The opening will have some additions to it. We're changing the opening also, but I don't want to tell you in details. You have to watch it.
There have also been talks of a film being developed. Is that still true? A film being developed around the material?
We're still looking for a producer. If there will be an interested producer to put it into a film, I'll be very happy to do it.
Who else would like to ask a question? Yeah. Taas na po ng kamay.
Hello. Oops, I'm so sorry. I'm Jonathan. I'm a non-Chinese speaking third-generation Filipino-Chinese. And I was in awe, and I still am, of the entirety of BinondoATsinoyMusical.
Thank you.
Sana mapagbigyan na maimbita ulit sa restaging sa July. Question, okay, in the interest of time, dahil ang dami natin cast members, may I ask the front seat cast, itong question 1 of 2. So guys, how are you able to preserve your voice sa pagtatanghal nyo ng kung ilang sunod-sunod na araw, di ba? So, yun. And then, question 2 of 2, para naman daw sa mga backseat cast, pwede nyo ba ma-share sa madla yung technique kung paano ba kadali mag-memorize ng kilo-kilometrong linya sa play na kagaya ng BinondoATsinoyMusical. Thank you.
Mauna na po ako.
Yes, idol, Nima.
Thank you po. Well, for those of you who haven't seen Binondo, ako po, I play the role of Lily's mother, Mrs. De La Rosa. A wee bit role, pero Direct Joel Lamangan and Sir Monty Guzman made sure that tatakbo yung role ko. So I'm very...
To torture you.
To torture me. Sa matataas na notes. But anyway, for this show, kukunti po yung mga eksena ko, pero full on and kailangan po talaga ng rest. So, while we do rehearsals, wala pong night out. Early bed dapat to preserve our voices. So, yun po for me. It works for me. And also, sa rehearsals naman, kailangan na talagang well nutrition. You can see it in my figure. But but yes, kailangan kumakain, very healthy and ready sa hirap ng choreography ni Sir Douglas. Buti wala akong mga sa opening lang. Pero madugo pa rin po yung opening production number ko. Nakasali ako. So that's it for me.
Hi everyone, I'm Sheila. For this show, I have very little songs. 24 songs lang. Lang naman, Sir Bon. Yeah. Well, I try to be as healthy as possible. I drink a lot of vitamins. vitamin B helps me with my memory, and I share it with my friends and loved ones. Yes. And during rehearsals, I try to not mark, no marking involved. Full out every time because I have to make my strengthen my vocals and my body so that I'll get used to it by the time the show comes. You know, so I know what I'm going to be doing. Not shock myself, full out show and mark during rehearsals. Para I'll be stronger, lots of water, and sleep.
I'm Noel. I play the Filipino-born Chinese. And same secret. Thanks for the vitamin B, by the way. But to add to that, I'm also, I've been blessed. My memory is phonographic. So if I hear something, itatatak na yan. So thankfully, I have to do less reviewing for this year than last year. Even shows I memorized a long time ago, 20 or more years. They're still there. And when I sang lounge in Macau, I sang 50 Chinese songs. It took me just a few days to learn. And thankfully, it's plus sleep kasi it's easy naman because I have no life.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jonal Mojica. I play Get Lao / Matandang Chino, ang Diyos ng pag-ibig. So, I pretty much mess around with their love lives. Yeah, so ako yung reason kung bakit nagkaganon yung buhay nila. I have very short scenes also, and then I have another track for the ensemble. A little to memorize, but I have Chinese lines, so paulit-ulit lang. And same as Sheila, no marking during rehearsals because, especially for the high notes of the ensemble parts. And to preserve the voice naman, I have a very, very bad sweet tooth. But during production, I lessen intake of chocolate because dairy produces mucus. So we don't want that for the production. So baka makatulong. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mariella and I play the role of Jasmine. For me, I get a lot of sleep and vitamins as well as a proper diet because I have a lot of intolerances and allergies. So I stay away from dairy as well. And to just warm up properly before every show. There. Okay, thank you.
The cast of attack, maybe they can stand para makita sa likod. At display mo, gaganda nilang costume. Yeah.
I'm Lawrence Martinez. How I memorize is I write down all my lines and then I memorize.
Hi, I'm Elrica. Isa po ako sa chorus sa aming, actually 6 po kami sa darating na July. About the lines, sa dumakmak na lines, of course, as an actor, meron kaming kailangan, may discipline kami, may focus kami sa ginagawa. At ang dami kasi pong elements, lalo na musical itong production. So, meron choreographies, may songs kami, kailangan may engage na maayos. So, mas madaling ma-memorize kung hindi kami nagmamark as much as possible. So, performance levels sa rehearsals, para sa show, ma-i-deliver namin na maayos yung trabaho namin. Thank you po.
Hi, I'm Khalil. In order to memorize our lines, what I do is I repeat it again and again and again, memory by repetition. And also sometimes if it's really hard, you can write it down and it helps.
Hi, I'm Jim Bebanco. Discipline is the key factor. Dapat nakikinig ka. Play with your eyes and ears all the time. At saka, hindi ka dapat tatanga-tanga. Ayaw nila ng tatanga-tanga. Lahat sila. Ayaw nila ng... Dapat magaling sa multitasking. Right on the spot, pagka nagbago ng sequence o kaya ng eksena, ready ka dapat. Dapat marunong ka mag-multitask.
Good afternoon po. Hindi po ako si Rhapsody. Nag-stand in lang po ako today. I'm Janine Tolentino. I was the swing for last run. One of the female swings for last run. tulad po sabi nila, repetition lang, paulit-ulit lang. Tapos, OCD kasi ako sa script ko, gusto ko yung hina-highlight ko talaga lahat. May color-coded, gano'n. Tapos, pag may kasamang choreography, sinasabay ko na rin po yung kanta para na-associate ko sa movement talaga yung linya. Ayun po.
Thank you po. We have another question from Alan Sancon.
Hi po. As a press po, we would like to help you to promote the BinondoATsinoyMusical. Pero kayo po ba, bakit kailangan panoorin ng mga Pinoy at Chinoy itong Binondo? Ano yung magiging take home nila of watching this Chinoy musical? Sa dami ng mga musical ngayon, di ba? Sa dami ng mga stage play, why should people watch this BinondoATsinoyMusical?
Sapagkat ito lamang ang musical na nagtatakil sa buhay ng isang Pinoy-Chinoy. Wala namang iba pa yan. This is the only musical na nagsasabi ng buhay ng isang Filipino-Chinese noong 70s. At kailangan naman mabigyan ng pagkakataong marinig sila sa pamamagitan ng musika, sa pamamagitan ng pagsasadula ng mga problema ng mga Chinese noong panahon na ngayon pa rin na may problema pa rin. Kaya kinakailangang mapakinggan, kinakailangang mapanood. Bukod sa ito ay Filipino musical. Kailangan po nating tangkilikin at sabihin sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino na tangkilikin ang Filipino musical.
Dito sa mga lead characters, ano yung take home ng mga manonood dito after nila mapanood to? Ano yung mga lesson na matututunan nila being a Filipino and being a Chinoy?
Well, like Direk said, this particular musical is very relatable and very relevant to now, even if it was staged during the 70s. So I can assure the ones who are going to watch that they're going to fall in love with the characters. I won't really say much about it, but yes, they will come out falling in love with the characters and falling in love with the music as well. The story is very Pinoy actually. Well, it's about Filipino-Chinese, but like when I say very Pinoy, it's the kind of love story that we like to watch. You know, we like kilig, we like to cry, a little bit of anger here and there, things like that. And of course, it's an original Filipino musical, so we really would like for all of you to support it. We have a lot of wonderful talent in this country that we would like to showcase as well.
At its heart, it's a love story. We want sana the takeaway will be walang sayang na pag-ibig. Kapag ikay umibig, walang sayang. Hindi masasayang yung nilabas mo. Kasi love can take many forms, and then it's also a tale of redemption. Love is love in whatever form. Love for your romantic interest, your country, your family, your child, your passion, your work, for example. We'd like everyone to be encouraged to just love as much as they can because hindi masasayang yung kanilang pagmamahal at pag-ibig.
Yes, I think the biggest thing that we're made to realize in this, as a take home, is because practically like 70% of the Filipino people have a drop at least of Chinese blood. And you know, that comparison and analogy of the two cultures are better understood when it is in theater, done in song and dance and staging. And there are a lot of similarities and there are a lot of differences. But at the end of it all, there's the same human experience, and which is still relevant all the way up to now, from the 70s all the way now to the present.
Magdadagdag lang ako at please forgive me, magyayabang lang ako. Una, kasi napakaganda ng original composition ni Juan de Guzman. Second, live orchestra po kami, hindi po kami nagma-1 at hindi po kami nag-3-piece band. Yung production number po namin ay live. Yung iba kasi, pag production number, nagpa-+1 sila. Kami po live. Panghuli, maaari ko rin ipag-ebang, siguro, ang Pilipino pala is capable of producing a mega musical or grand musical like Binondo. Na sana naman, yung makapanood o makarinig na nagawa ni Binondo, pwede sabihin na, kailangan gumawa kami ng mas maganda pa sa Binondo. Maraming salamat.
May I add something? Yes. Thank you for making my dream project come true. I've been dreaming about this project for the last 32 years. And last year, you awarded us with 6 ALU Awards. This project is a bridge between the Filipino and Chinese cultures. You'll see a lot of parallelisms, the martial law versus the Chinese Cultural Revolution. You'll see interchange of cultures, the marriages, the tradition, and everything, especially at this time when we need to understand each other, the Filipinos and the Chinese.
Thank you po. We have a question from Cesar Batingal of Net25.
I'm Cesar Ian po from Net25 TV, Eagle News Entertainment po. I want to congratulate lang po the entire cast members, pati doon sa production, doon sa prestigious at matagumpay niyo pong run noon sa Kia Theater.
Salamat po. Thank you.
Well, tapos right now po, that you are another run, second time around, dito po sa Soler. At po, ito po isa sa mga another tinetreasure po sa OPM industry. Meron po tayo original Pinoy music, original Pinoy movies, and the same time, original Pinoy musical po. Ngayon po, ang tanong ko lang po dun sa cast member, especially to those lead cast, ano po ba yung challenges na kinakaharap natin o ninyo, at paano po ang adjustment na ginagawa ninyo knowing that you are not Chinoy, or most of you, meron po, or some of you, hindi po, wala pong dugong Chinese, tapos yung ipoportray niyo po na character ay isang Chinoy. Tapos po, yung kultura po na meron po ang mga Chinoy o yung mga Chinese, kailangan niyo po ba itong pag-aralan, i-adapt para mas maging makatotohanan ang pagpaportray niyo po na role?
It's we're actors, no? So our job is to hold up a mirror to the world and tell the truth best we can. So we arm ourselves different ways. Research, like for me, I'm learning my third Chinese dialect after working in Hong Kong and Macau. So Hokkien naman. Ang mali ko kasi I had a Hokkien learning CD. CD pa talaga, no? Ganun nakatagal. I learned Mandarin in a month using that CD, and the other half of the CD was Hokkien. One half Hokkien, one half Mandarin. So I threw away the Hokkien. Sabi ko, why would I ever learn Hokkien? Sayang. Ngayon, if somebody, nananawagan po ako kung merong copy ng Hokkien learning CD chat. Mo man kaya. You got sick Hong Kong. Hong Kong already, so yun there. But I think beyond the language, what's more important is the truth of the character. Like who do we embody? That's more important than the. Kasi we have to tell this language. We have to tell this story mainly in Tagalog, some English, some Mandarin, some Hokkien. That I think if we do it properly, then it doesn't matter what language actually. We just have to arm ourselves with the emotional truth.
Sa production po, ang target audience po ba natin dito ay po ba pangkalahatan po? Pero meron po pa talagang mga pure Chinese na nanonood o nanood po before? At ano po yung comment nila from previous play po?
Marami pong Chinese nanonood. Example si Mother Lily. Chinese po siya. Nagustuhan niya po. In-invite niya po lahat ng kanyang anak at ang kanyang asawa para manood ulit. 3 beses siyang nanood. Si Jose Marichan, nanood po. Mga kaibigan ko pong Chinese, nanood po sila lahat. Lahat naman sila nagkagusto. bumabalik-balik po sila. Ibig sabihin, nakakapag-communicate yung play sa kahit sa totoong Chinese, sa hindi masyadong totoong Chinese, sa nagja-Chinese. Nakaka-communicate naman po sila. Sapagkat universal ng po ang sinasabi ng play. Pagmamahal na totoo at tama, naman ang pinakikita. At pinakikita ang pulang Pilipino sa dekadang sinasabi mundo lang. Ano ba ang problema na isang Pilipino-Chinese? Siya ba ay Pilipino ay Chinese? Yun ang kanyang conflict. Di ba kinanta, ako ay Pilipino kahit may dugo akong Chinese. Narinig nyo, di ba? Parang ganun po. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po sa magandang alipay po namin.
May I take this opportunity to thank the Chinese community. They were very supportive. Chinoy TV is here. Chinese commercial news, world news. The communities, the schools and colleges were there on the first run. They will be here again on the second run.
Maraming salamat po kaya po yung aming pong TV station at radio station is supporting this advocacies, pati po yung inyo pong programa. That's why we are supporting ang Pinas FM po na radio station po namin is one of your media partner.
Salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Corny, come.
Hello everyone, or Angelical Vlog. Well, before I raise my question, I just want to share my experience from your last, from the original run. I saw it 3 times. Yeah, the first time was, I was quite critical. I mean, I have to be honest. I went home with rather critical notes. The second time was, this was more heartwarming. And the third time, I cried and I enjoyed and I started telling friends to see it. And that's the same with the material. I agree with Sir Douglas when he said that it really comes with the humanity that has been with you, and it would take such material for you to realize that you have had it for the longest time, and that's what I like about the musical. But the question now here is, we opened this year with a couple of really great reruns, and that would be Apo the Musical and Ang Huling El Bimbo. Both had great reruns in the first quarter of this year. How will Binondo the Musical be at par with those reruns?
We will try to be better. We will try to, with your help, we will try to approach people to really watch it and enjoy it and be proud of it, because we are proud of it. So we will enjoin the people to please watch it and please tell other people to watch it. If one of you will only invite 5 and then the other one will invite other 5, we will be able to gather many audience to watch it. That's the only way to propagate Filipino musical. I'm so happy there's El Bimbo. I'm so happy there's Apo na Putila. I'm so happy I did Maynila sa Kuko na Liwanag. I'm so happy I'm doing Binondo. I hope I will be doing some more Filipino musical for the Filipino audience. I hope there will be more Mr. Young to produce something like this.
Today we're down to the last 3 to 4 questions. Mr. Eugene Asis of People's Journal.
This question is for the 3 main top forces from Direct Joel kay Bonte Guzman at kay Douglas Nieras, who have all worked in movies also and all award winning. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you compare your work here sa musical at saka doon sa movies na ginawa nyo at ginagawa?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
This is 12. This is harder to do. Because I cannot repeat a mistake. Sa film, I always erase that, let's do it again. Here, I cannot do that. Here, mahaba ang pakikisama mo sa lahat ng tao. Sa film, hanggang 7 days, 8 days. With the boss, 12 days. Tapos na. Ito hindi. Mahaba. Hanggang sa pagbebenta, hanggang sa pagpopromote, katama lahat. Sa film, hindi. Bahala ka na dyan, yung promote na nakikita. So it's harder to do live theater. It's harder to do this one. But this is where I came from. That's why I love it. Baka may producer dito, din ako kunin. I love it. I love movies too. I love television.
Okay, si Bon.
Magkaiba po yung challenges ng writing music for a film and writing music for a musical. The first film I scored was Mano po. So Chinoy din siya with Direct Joel. So ang main difference is that when you write a film score, there are no words. You don't say you have through your music you have to say you're in love, you're in pain, you're angry without the aid of words. Sa musical theater po, you have that. But ang challenge naman doon is dapat yung pagsulat mo ng musika akma dun sa accents ng lyrics. Otherwise magiging wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Parang gano'n. Yung gano'n magiging gano'n, yung kanta. So, plus, kailangan malinaw yung words. Kung ano yung sinasabi ng word, dapat musically you have to paint it. Pag sinabi mong langit, tumataas yung melody, lupa, baba yung melody. Pag sinabing hangin, kakantahin mo in falsetto. Yung mga ganyang klase. So, iba-iba ko yung challenges nun. But, I wrote my first musical when I was in second year high school.
Wow.
Well, okay. Huwag na natin pag-usapan kasi hindi masyado maganda. Ayun, pero pareho kong mahal.
So, yung scale of 1 to 10, yung how would you compare yung sa work mo sa movies?
1 to 10, alin ang mas maganda?
Hindi, alin ang mas mahirap? How would you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Mas mahirap po siguro yung theater, musical theater gawin. I guess 13? 13? My favorite number, 13. Okay. Sige.
Yes. I've been choreographing for the past, I would say about 40 years.
40 na ba?
Yes,
wow.
yes. And yung sayaw ko sa ordinaryong sayaw lang is already a narrative. And I make sure that it's, whether it's literal or in abstraction or impressionism, it's always there to tell a story. And this time, it gives me a little bit more comfort because the story is already there. So, sa hirap, mas mahirap maggawa ng sayaw lang na walang kwento. Pero pag dito, may kwento na, merong pang music na maganda, nagagawa ko na mas maayos. And it's easier for me. But, the thing is, I have to come up to a different level or standard because there are people that I'm working with, and we have to make our ideas collide and meld. Better nga collide kasi mas maraming nangyayari. So I would say, in a scale of 1 to 10, insistently 10. Or whether you like it or not.
So, in other words, parang it's a breeze working sa ganitong musical?
Initially, yes. But to come up with the finished product, parang masakit masakit talaga. Parang nakakadugo minsan.
Okay. Thank you.
Sino pa question there?
Ako, I started in theater in 74, no? This is 2019. Ito pa rin yung pinakamahirap. Pero gusto ko lang i-share kasi kanina may nagtanong pero ayaw niya pa sabi yung pangalan niya. Sabi niya, bakit yung Binondo in Tagalog? Ito naman ang sagot ko sa kanya. Sabi ko, I hope you'll not be offended when I answer to your question. One is that ang Sound of Music German? Okay, diba? Ang Miss Saigon ba in Vietnamese? Okay, ang Jesus Christ Superstar, si Jesus nag-English. Diba? I mean, you know, di syempre, ang Binondo, since we are Filipino, ito na-offend ka ba? Hindi, naliwanagan daw siya. Thank you.
Yes, we have a question from Ms. Claire and Bayani. Yes, Danny. Yes, Hilter.
Clear.
Good afternoon. My question is for Mr. Douglas Nieres. Actually, you kind of answered my question a while ago, but maybe you can give us more particulars about the process in the choreography of this musical.
Well, the process is very simple. There are two areas that I tackle, the elemental and the aesthetic. In the elemental approach, I just tear everybody to pieces until they get so tired that they don't have any choice but to deliver properly. Ganun yun talaga. Diba? That's the Filipino psyche. Kailangan wala ka ng choice kundi gandahan na lang. So that, there's no room to wiggle area. Now, in the aesthetic approach, I want to make everybody feel every second, every movement, every notion, inject a little bit of the Oriental, the Chinese, of what I know from my experience and from my past, and also things that I borrow from people. I go through a lot of process of asking questions. Ms. Rebecca has been very helpful about these things, and all the actuations has always been backed up by verification. So if there's a little movement that we do, it is verified whether it is from the Chinese tradition, historical, or otherwise. And for the Pinoy, okay na ako dun. Alam ko na yun. And after all of that is done, everything is physical lang. Because I believe that I'm dealing with artists. They develop the internal feeling for it and the stories that they come up with individually as characters. So, I'm sorry, was I vague?
Follow up, no more?
Yeah, so how do you deal with, some people are not natural dancers, so,
I beg to disagree.
Oh.
I have not encountered any not unnatural mover in the cast, and not even in Maynila. That's never, or maybe I just really punished them so much. But I have not encountered, not one. I've never encountered anyone so difficult that it made me give up. Wala naman. So far.
Walang kalawang paa, dalawa, wala.
Wala po. Mga tatlo. Pero nandun pa rin yung dalawa.
Okay, for Mr. Amadis Guerrero. Direct Joel, I wanted to ask you, kasi the activist overtones in the musical play are very evident, no? I was wondering if you could use if you and the cast could use your creativity to update the activism and take some pot shots against the dispute in the West Philippine Sea.
The West Philippine Sea doesn't have anything to do with it. Alright, we're not claiming. I have to ask Ricky Lee. Ricky Lee was the one who wrote it with LJ Dudok and Gerson Chua. It is her story. Alright, I'm just putting it into a play. Now, it just so happened that there is an activist scene. So I have to mount it the way I know it because I was an activist in the 70s. And that's how it's done. And with authority I say, ganun talaga siya. Because I did it myself in the 70s. It is intrinsic in the story. It is intrinsic in the way it was written verically. That's why it's there. I did not put it there because I was an activist myself in the 70s. It was part of Rebecca's story. That's why it's there. But it reflected what it was in the 70s. There was turmoil in the 70s. There were student activists in the 70s. And we cannot say no to that. That's history. Now, if we will relate it to now, it's up to the audience to relate it. But it's not up to me to express and underline it about like this. It's up to the audience to interpret it the way they would like to interpret it. But there were activism in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Thank you, Anna. This for clear again.
The cast can use their own, with your permission, the cast can use their own creativity.
No, I provided, I asked, because hindi naman sila nabuhay that era. Mga bata pa sila. So I have to tell them somehow how it is and how it was and how it's done. I mean, andito din naman sila Douglas. Andito si Arman pala, siya si Ate. Okay. Thank you. So, thank you, Amadis.
May I just add something? The song Ako Ay Filipino is our song. We are Chinese, but born and raised in the Philippines. So the story is about Filipino-Chinese. It's not about the new Chinese claiming spratly.
Okay, we have a question from the welfare there.
Push that. Very
I
good.
believe you, Noel.
Yeah, very
Thank
good point.
you.
Anyway, so this is love at that particular era, which is said that had turmoil, no? But love should be based always on transparency and equality, but Direct Joel. Now, I want to know, anong lesson about love yung pwedeng makuha dito sa musical na pwedeng i-apply ngayon on our relationship with China?
Maraming pag-ibig dito sa play na to. Maraming pag-ibig na pinatutungkulan. Pag-ibig ng lalaki sa babae, pag-ibig sa bayan, tinutulakan natin dito. So may iba't ibang uri ng pag-ibig. Pag-ibig sa kaibigan, pag-ibig sa ina, pag-ibig, maraming pag-ibig sa loob ng istoryang ito. But ang pinakatampok ay ang pag-ibig ni Lily kay Atyong. Ang pag-ibig ni Carlos kay Lily. Ang pag-ibig ni Asmin kay Atyong na hindi nagtutugma-tugma ang mga pag-ibig nila. Later on, umiibig sila sa mga taong hindi naman sila iniibig, pero umiibig pa rin. Iisa lamang ang pag-ibig na nanatili, ang pag-ibig sa bayan, dahil sinasabi niya, kahit ako ay Ichik, ako ay Pilipino. Yun ang namutawi doon sa totoong Pilipinas.
Direct Joel, kailangan daw ni Gina at saka ni Jingay ng pang-headline para maging relevant itong Presscon. So, kumusta naman yung pag-ibig natin sa China ngayon? So, ito ba yung pag-ibig na nasa isang relasyon na...
Sa isang Chinese. Ang pag-ibig ko'y Pinoy. Okay. Gusto mo tinatanong mo ba ako kung sino pag-ibig ko?
May nakapikit sa likod, Direk. Ang pag-ibig mo daw talaga ay Pinoy.
Kailanman ay Pinoy. Kahit nung araw pa Pinoy. Dahil ako ay Pinoy. Di ba halatang ichik ba itsura ko?
Pero Direk, ano masasabi mo raw sa pag-ibig nating mga Pinoy ngayon sa mga Chino, sa Chinese, sa panahon ngayon?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yes. Kailangan daw maging relevant ko.
Darling, I'm a Slayer.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Arman Ferrer. He made it on time. Arman is playing the role of Atyong. Please,
a few words from Arman.
Few words about your play, musical, etc.
Experience, ni hao. I'm just grateful na umabot ako. Kakagaling ko lang pong Dubai. And I'm very happy to do this role again with my directors and my co-actors. Thank you.
Kakanta daw siya for you.